Manchester United are one of the biggest football clubs in the world, but they are currently sitting 13th in the Premier League, and with overpaid players in every area of the pitch, they are in dire need of a rebuild. Hey, how's it going, and welcome to the Man United rebuild. In real life this season, Man United have been absolutely terrible, sitting 13th in the league table at the time of recording, and they're actually closer to the relegation zone than they are to the European places. So I think it's safe to say that Man United do need a drastic rebuild, not just in real life, but of course in Football Manager as well. I think it's harsh to blame it solely on Ruben Amorim. He's obviously just been signed as a manager not too long ago, but it hasn't gone well for him in the early stages at Man United. But continuing Ruben Amorim's theme for today's video, I will be trying to use the same tactics that Ruben Amorim uses in real life, obviously with the three at the back system, and I've tried to keep it as realistic to his tactic as possible for today's video. But of course, it should be a little bit difficult here because the state of Man United's squad at the moment is absolutely disastrous. There's only a few players that I'd like to keep over the rebuild here. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. It might take 5 seasons, it may take 10, but surely I have to bring success quite quickly here to Man United, seeing as they are one of the biggest clubs in the world. So first of all, let's actually look at the club vision to start this new season. Well, reach the latter stages of the Europa League. Also, I should mention that this is Football Manager 2024, but I have an updated database, so even though the start date is the 2023-2024 season here, we've actually got the same players at the start of the 2025 season. So players such as Lenny Yoro, Manuel Ugarte, those sort of players are currently here in the Man United squad, and teams such as Ipswich, Leicester and Southampton are in the Premier League as well. So as you see here, reach the latter stages of the Europa League. That should be quite simple here in the first season, to be honest. We're one of the bigger teams in the Europa League. Of course, Man United should never be playing in such a competition. It should be Champions League from here on out after this season, hopefully. Talking of the Champions League, we're actually, our aims for the season in the Premier League is qualify for the Champions League. So at least a top 5 finish this season is expected. Obviously, that is not going to happen in real life. They're miles away from being a Champions League team, has to be said. But yeah, so it's a little bit of a tough ask, has to be said, with the squad I've got here. But hopefully it should be doable. Reach the latter stages of the FA Cup. If the draw is kind to us, that should be easily doable as well. Be competitive in the Carabao Cup and Community Shield. Obviously, should be very doable as well, so you're going to be competitive in there. Also, work towards developing the best youth system in the country and work towards developing the Premier League's best youth system as well. By the end of the 2027 season, they expect me to win the Premier League title. So after 4 seasons, they expect us to win the Premier League title. To be honest, after 4 seasons, I'd have expected to have won the Premier League title myself. So hopefully that should be done. So first of all, before we actually look at the squad, we actually look at the transfer budget remaining for this season. Only got £11.2 million to spend and 140k in the wage budget. So I think it's safe to say that with such lack of funds here, players need to leave before I can sign some players. But the good news is, there are plenty of players that have to leave the club. It's going to take more than 1 season, that is for sure. But hopefully I can offload a couple in this first season here and try and bring in some signings to make the team better. So let's actually look at the team itself. Then let's take it by position here. In terms of the goalkeeper position, Andre Onana, he's not been great for Man United, has to be said. Nowhere near as good as what he was for Inter Milan. But here in Football Manager at the start of the season here, I'd like to replace him going forward, but at the start I think he'll do as our number 1 goalkeeper. He's not the best, but he is a good goalkeeper. 110k a week is relatively low for a number 1 goalkeeper at a club like Man United. So I'm fairly happy with him at the start here, Onana, but I would like to replace him down the line. We've also got Altay Bayindir here as the backup goalkeeper. 3-star player Onana, 2.5-star Bayindir. So not too bad in the goalkeeper position, but there's other positions that we need to strengthen, that is for sure. Also got Tom Heaton here as well as a 3rd choice keeper. So of course I'm playing with Ruben Amorim's tactic, or trying to replicate as much as I can. So I'll be playing with 3 centre-backs, of course, and to be honest, the centre-back department is looking very, very weak for Man United. The best centre-back is, of course, De Ligt. He hasn't started off his campaign at Man United too well, has to be said, but hopefully given time he might turn out to be a very good centre-back. Only 24 years of age, so on the young side here as well, which is nice. So he's definitely one for the main haul, that is for sure. Matthijs de Ligt, have no plans to replace him anytime soon. Also, Lisandro Martinez, he's a 3.5-star player as well. Obviously, Martinez, though, he's lacking height, which is a little bit crucial in FootballManager. But again, at the start here, Martinez and de Ligt, I'm fairly happy of those two. Also, Harry Maguire, 31 years of age. He's on 200k a week, which is absolutely outrageous. But he's not actually as bad in FootballManager as I'd say he is in real life, although he is. He's alright. He's an alright player, let's be honest. Harry Maguire is not that bad. He doesn't deserve the stick he gets, to be honest. The one thing that he does lack, though, is pace. 10 acceleration and 12 pace isn't nice to see. Other than that, though, most parts of his game are quite good. But 200k a week, 31 years of age, and weak pace as well. If I can sell him, I'll try and sell him. But to be honest, there's other weaker centre-backs, so I'll try and keep Maguire around for the first season as a good backup. But if we look at the three backup centre-backs, that's when it starts to get really terrible. A 36-year-old Johnny Evans should be nowhere near this club, I'm sorry to say. He's been a great Premier League player in the past, that is for sure, especially at Leicester, but don't want him at the club at all. 36 years of age, need to get rid of him. Also, Victor Lindelof as well. Shouldn't be in the Man United squad anymore, so I'm trying to sell him. He's actually a wanted man, wanted by Tottenham, so they can have him. If they make a good offer for Lindelof, they can have him, that is for sure. Lenny Yoro, though, only 18 years of age, potentially 5 stars. He's a player I'd like to keep around as well. So, yeah, there's 4 centre-backs I'd like to keep here in the first season. Maguire, de Ligt, Yoro and Martinez, but Lindelof, well, Evans, well, he's not worth anything, only worth £2.2 million, so he can stay as well. So, ideally, I'd like to sign 2 centre-backs in the first season here, but probably not going to be able to do that. So, if we can sell Lindelof and bring in a better centre-back than Lindelof and try and get a nice back three with de Ligt, Martinez and the other centre-back, that would be nice in these early seasons here. Well, of course, in terms of the right wing-back, we've got Mats Raui, he's been quite good. And we've also got Diogo Dalot as well, or Dalot. Those two are decent players, both 3-star players, obviously not mind-blowing players, but for the first season they should be okay. Although Dalot is a wanted man, he's actually wanted by PSG. He's worth almost up to £40 million, so he's alright. You know what, I actually think they've actually underrated Dalot here a little bit, to be honest. I think he's a bit better than this, to be honest. I don't think he's he's not definitely not a world-class player, but I think he's a good player, but doesn't look so good here in this FootballManager. So if PSG make a solid bid for Dalot, I'll be up for selling him, as long as I can replace him, of course, because we've only got 2 right wing-backs at the club. In terms of the left wing-back, well, that's a massive problem for Man United in real life. Massive, massive problem. We've got Luke Shaw here, who's a decent left wing-back, 3.5-star player, but he's on 200k a week and he's always injured. That is Luke Shaw's problem. He's always injured. So ideally, I'd like to replace him down the line. 200k a week for a player who's always injured. Not ideal. And of course, Tyrell Malacia, the backup left wing back, isn't good enough. So I'll prioritise a left wing back over a right wing back. That is for sure. As I said, if we can sell Dalot, I will replace him with hopefully a better right wing back. If we go into midfield, 2 DMs we're playing with here in this system, and yeah, it's a little bit worrying. It's very worrying. It's very worrying indeed. Ugarte is a very good player in FootballManager, that is for sure. So very happy with him. Only 23 years of age as well. And also Kobbie Mainoo, of course. Absolute madness that they're thinking of selling him in real life. Absolute madness. He is not for sale for any price for me. Homegrown lad at the club, and also only 19 years of age. Potentially 4.5 stars. So those 2 players are good. That is for sure. The problem is the backup DMs. Casemiro, well, he's a player that just has to go. He's destined to be on a plane to Saudi Arabia, in my opinion. 300k a week, 32 years of age. Physically, he's terrible. He needs to get out of the club. The problem is, though, he's on such high wages. Who do we sell him to? But hopefully I can get rid of him at some point. If not in the first season, hopefully the second season. But yeah, I need to sell Casemiro, that is for sure. 300k a week is disgusting. And Christian Eriksen as well, great player. Really great player, but as a DM, nowhere near good enough. And again, physically, he's absolutely terrible. So the starting DMs are pretty good in my opinion, but the backup we've got at the club, absolutely terrible. So that is a priority position as well. The DMs need to sign at least 1 DM, maybe 2. When we go into the forward positions, this is when it gets even more scary, to be honest. Of course, we're not playing with wingers these days. Not that we'd play with Anthony anyway, because he's absolutely useless. So he needs to go. He's already transfer listed by the club, so I'm not impressed with Anthony at all. He needs to leave the club. Also, Mason Mount, he's transfer listed as well. He's a 3.5-star player here. His Man United stint in real life has been absolutely dreadful, to say the least. And to be honest, I don't think he's good enough as an attacking midfielder for me. I'd very much like to sell him on 200k a week as well. So he's another player that I'd like to sell, to be honest. Amad Diallo has been really good in real life. I actually quite like him as well. He can play through the middle, even though he's primarily a winger. Potentially 4 stars, so I'd like to keep him. Same with Garnacho as well. I know he might be leaving in real life, potentially going to Chelsea. But he can be trained as an attacking midfielder, so I'd like to keep him as well. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes talks for himself. He's the best player at the club. Outstanding player, especially mentally and technically. Really, really good. 29 years of age, almost 30, so need to look towards the future. But he has got 20 natural fitness, so hopefully he'll be around for a couple more seasons at least. But then we've got Marcus Rashford, of course, a player who is very much in the shadows of Man United these days, and understandably so. He's been pretty awful for the last season and a half. And also he's on 300k a week as well, along with Casemiro. So seeing as Rashford looks like he's going out the door in real life, I'm not going to use Rashford at all. I'm not going to register him for the Premier League. So hopefully we can sell him sooner rather than later. 300k a week is just absolutely terrible. If it wasn't going on based on real life, I would obviously use Marcus Rashford because he's quite good in FootballManager. But trying to be as realistic as possible, I'm going to try and sell Rashford. And in terms of the striker options at the club, again, not so good. Højlund, though, potentially 4 stars, only 21 years of age, playing with an advanced forward. He's quite decent. Obviously, he could do with an upgrade over Højlund, but as a backup striker, he'd be quite good, has to be said. But Joshua Zirkzee, yeah, not cutting it for me, to be honest. He's a deep-lying forward player, and we're not playing with deep-lying forwards here at Man United, so not got much use for Zirkzee as a striker. As you see here, he's not great finishing, only 13 finishing, only 12 composure as well. He's not the quickest either, so yeah. But to be honest, I'd like to use Zirkzee as an attack midfielder, one of the 10s. I could train him up there. We can have an extra body in midfield there, but as a striker, I don't think he's good enough, so that's another priority position. But yeah, that is the squad I'm dealing with at the moment. Obviously, it's a big squad as well, but the priority positions have to be the DM, a left wing back, also a centre back, a striker. I think that's it. So priority position, probably be a DM, to be honest, because the backup DMs have got absolutely terrible. Striker position, could deal with it for a season maybe. But yeah, centre back, a DM and the left wing back is an absolute priority here. So let me actually go forward now to the end of the transfer window, and let's see what transfers I bring into the club. Well, I'm actually fairly happy with the players I've brought in so far. I brought in 4 players, 3 in a permanent signing and 1 on a loan signing as well. The actual first player to leave us, though, was actually Diogo Dalot. He's gone to PSG for £33 million. As I said at the start there, he's a decent player, but if they're for good money for Dalot, I'll try and go and sign a better right wing back to replace him. So I sold Dalot to PSG for £33 million. I've also sold backup left wing back Malacia to AC Milan for £14 million as well. Not really good enough for the club at all. Victor Lindelof has gone to Tottenham for £10 million as well. And also 3 players have gone out on loan. That is Casemiro's gone on loan to Real Sociedad, Anthony's gone on loan to Newcastle, and Mason Mount has gone on loan to Wolves as well. These 3 players I tried to sell, but unfortunately weren't able to sell them, but I've been able to loan them out nonetheless to get them out of the club and give some other players game time. So in terms of the players I've actually bought, I've signed 4 new players. The first one I brought in was a replacement for Dalot, and that is Tino Livramento from Newcastle. Signed him for £32 million. I have to be honest, he wasn't my first choice at right wing back. My actual first choice was Jeremy Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen. Amazing right wing back in real life, Frimpong. Unfortunately though, he agreed to sign a new contract with Leverkusen over joining us. So that is the state of the club at the moment, where a player is choosing to stay at Leverkusen than to go to Man United. No disrespect to Leverkusen, they're a brilliant club in real life. What a season they had last season. But in terms of size of clubs, Man United are clearly bigger. Livramento has joined us though, only 21 years of age, so he's not at his peak yet. But he has got a lot of potential. You actually look at him, he doesn't look much better than Dalot, to be honest. You actually see here, Dalot pretty much comes out a bit better than Livramento, but the difference is Livramento is actually 4 years younger than Dalot, and he has a very high potential as well. He's also very versatile. He can play right wing back, he can also play left wing back as well, and he can also play at centre back as well if needed, Livramento. So very happy with the signing of him, only £32 million as well. I've also signed a wing back for the other side as well, and that is Miguel Gutierrez. I've signed him from Girona for just £30 million. I thought it was very important that I signed a new left wing back who had great ability at the off. because Luke Shaw is always injured. So that is why I went for Gutierrez for £30 million. Again, he's not quite at his peak yet, but he is 23 years of age, so he's a little bit older than Livramento, but he's a good player, very good overall player. He's got a lot of 15s going on here. He's also got 16 crossing as well. If you do compare him with Luke Shaw, you look here, well, Luke Shaw is obviously better defensively, physically and with his speed as well, but Gutierrez is better mentally and with his vision and attacking. So going forward, Gutierrez seems to be a little bit better than Luke Shaw, which obviously is the priority with the wing backs here, where Luke Shaw seems to be better defensively. Luke Shaw is still an important player though, because of course he can still play centre back as well, which might be important going forward to the season. The next player actually signed though was actually one from Bayer Leverkusen, and it was Jonathan Tah, new centre back to join the club. I've signed him for only £17.25 million, so very happy with the signing of Tah. Has to be said, 28 years of age, so he's a little bit on the old side. I like to go more for the Wonder Kid style players to actually build them up a little bit, but for such little money, for such a good centre back, very happy to sign him. Physically, he's outstanding. 17 jumping reach, 18 strength as well. He's also got 16 composure and 16 positioning. So he was out of contract at the end of the season. That's why he was so cheap, and other teams were in for him as well. So I had to swoop in quickly, and I got him. So I'm very happy with the signing of Jonathan Tah. Definitely strengthens the centre back massively. A much better player than Lindelof, so I'm happy with the signing of him. And last but not least, I've actually signed another player from Bayer Leverkusen. This time on loan though. I signed Patrick Schick on loan for the season. He is a new striker, back up to Højlund. I obviously wanted to sign a better striker than Schick, but I ran out of money, of course, in the first season here. So he'll do for a season. As I said, I'm not going to use Marcus Rashford. I'm going to make sure he's unregistered for the Premier League, because I feel like he's out the door in real life and not in Ruben Amorim's plans. So that is why I brought in Schick as a backup striker. Said not the best, but he definitely could do a job for us for one season, hopefully. But hopefully going forward, we can sign a better striker than this who can lead the club to glory. So that is the players that have joined us. 4 new signings, well, three on permanent signings, 1 on loan, and of course a few players left us as well. Dallow's left us, as has Malacia, both on permanent signings, and Lindelof, and Casemiro, Antony and Mason Mount have all left the club on loan as well. Also, I should mention that in my rebuilds, I actually go on holiday for the season, so effectively I act as a director of football, where I make the signings, build the team, select the tactic as well, and the assistant manager will manage the club on a day-to-day basis. He's in charge of picking the team as well, so this is actually his opinion of the best 11 in the Man United squad right now. Onana is the goalkeeper, of course, and the centre-backs we've got Tah, De Ligt and Martinez. And then we've got wing-backs Luke Shaw and Mazraoui. And we've got Mainu and Ugarte in midfield there. Eriksen, Fernandes in attacking midfield, and Rashford as a striker. That is why I want to leave Rashford outside the club registration, because I don't want the assistant manager to use him. As you can see there, if he was registered, he would use him as a striker, because I want to give the other players a chance to develop, such as Højlund, for example. So if I was picking my best 11, Højlund would be up front there, Eriksen would be out the team, and I'd probably put Diallo in there with Fernandes. I'd also start Gutierrez most of the time. And yeah, that'll do me, to be honest. In terms of the actual tactic itself, well, I'm going with a positive mentality. In possession, we've got short passing, play out of defence, run at defence, slightly higher tempo, and fairly narrow attacking width. In transition, we've got roll it out, counter and counter press. And out of possession, we've got a much higher defensive line, high press, trigger press much more often, and get stuck in on tackling as well. I've taken inspiration from other people's tactics online for Ruben Amorim's tactic. I've also done my own research as well, so it is similar to other people's tactics. I've also made my own slight tweaks as well. So we've got a sweeper keeper on support, 2 ball playing defenders on defend, a central defender on defend in the centre there, 2 wing backs on attack, a segundo volante on support, a defensive midfielder on support, 2 number 10s attacking midfielders on support, and an advanced forward up front as well. So as I said, I will go on holiday for the season. I'll select use current match tactics for the assistant manager, so you make sure he uses the same tactic every single game, but I'll let him be in charge of selecting the team on the match day basis. So he will select the team. So that is why I'm leaving these players out of registration. I'm hoping he doesn't use some of the weaker players too often and doesn't give game time to the other players. So this is the team for the season. Of course, it's not quite the complete team yet, only the first season. We actually look at the season preview here. We predicted to finish 5th in the league this season. So 5th place with the right coefficients should get us Champions League football. I'll be fairly happy with that. Let's go forward now to the end of Season 1 and let's see what we can do in Season 1. Can we qualify for the Champions League? And also, can we win the Europa League as well? Well, I've actually brought you back here at the end of the January transfer window because the board made extra transfer funds available in the first season here. So I went out and I brought 2 DMs into the club. I struggled to find a DM at the start of the season, but I knew it was an absolute priority position, so I signed not 1, but 2 DMs to bring into the club. The first one I signed was actually Fredrik Alsnes from Benfica for £43 million. He is 29 years of age, Alsnes, but he's a very, very good DM, and he's got great natural fitness as well, 20 natural fitness, so obviously he'll stay better for a longer time with that natural fitness. So he may be 29, but he should be good enough to play at the top level for 3 or 4 seasons. And also the main thing that drew me to Alsnes more than anything is how versatile he is. As you can see here, he's a natural DM and centre midfielder, but he can play anywhere down the left and anywhere down the right as well. So he's a good option to have in terms of the wing-back positions where he can cover for any injuries there. And overall, he's just a good player. £43 million for a 29-year-old. I wouldn't normally do such a thing, but considering how versatile he is and also 20 natural fitness, I thought he's a great signing to make in January. Also, I signed another DM, another older DM, and that is Konrad Laimer. I signed him from Bayern Munich for £21 million. £21 million though for a player like Laimer is very, very cheap. Again, he's a versatile player, not quite as versatile as Alsnes, so he can play DM. He can also play right wing back as well, and in the centre midfield as well. And also, he's got 20 work rate, 19 teamwork as well. So, a massive upgrade on Casemiro and Christian Eriksen in the DM department. Now, suddenly we're looking like we've got 4 good DMs at the club, so I'm very happy with the signing of these 2 players. If we're actually talking about the competition so far in the first season, well, it's actually going quite well, to be honest. We're sitting 3rd in the league at the moment with 49 points, only 1 point behind Arsenal in 2nd place and 7 points behind Liverpool at top of the leagues there. So I think it'll be hard to mount a title challenge in the first season. We're only 7 points behind, but Liverpool have got a much superior goal difference as well. So I don't think we're going to win the title in the first season, but it looks like we're in a very strong position to finish in the top 4 this season. 7 points clear of Man City in 5th place there. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get top 4 finish by the end of the season. Also, the Europa League. Obviously, being FootballManager here, this the latest league phase system for the Europa League and Champions League hasn't come into effect yet. That is why we're still in the group system here. We did finish top of the group, which we should do, and qualify for the next phase of the Europa League. We're still in the FA Cup as well, in the FA Cup 5th round. We're also in the Carabao Cup final as well against Southampton. So, fingers crossed, should be our first trophy here in the first season. We should beat Southampton in the Carabao Cup final, and the Community Shield we finished as runner-up. So, signed 2 new DMs, looking good. Alsnes and Konrad Laimer, looking good in the Premier League, the Europa League, and the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup as well, of course. So, hopefully at the end of the season, we've secured a top 4 finish and won the Carabao Cup. Can we do that? Let's find out. Well, the first season has been completed and it's gone pretty well, it has to be said. I'll get to more detail on that in a second, but first of all, let's actually look at the new arrivals. And the best player we actually signed this season was Tino Livramento. He was definitely a very good player for me. £32 million spent for him, but he actually made 50 appearances in total and got 18 assists from that right wing back position. So great signing, Livramento. But also on the other side, Gutierrez was equally as good. Cost about the same sort of money, played 46 games, he got 7 goals and 17 assists as well. So combined of 35 assists from the 2 new wing-backs this season, which is pretty incredible, has to be said. So very happy with those 2 players. The other new signing, well, Ugarte counts as a new signing, although I didn't sign him, but he had a good season as well. Alsnes came in January, but he was definitely a very important squad player to have. Started 11 games, came off the bench 11 times with an average rating of 7 there. Patrick Schick did a good job for us this season as a backup striker. Started only 15 games, but he scored 12 goals in total, so that's good for a backup striker. Konrad Laimer, he only started 4 games, again starting in January though, and Jonathan Tah played in 41 games in the season. Only a 6.82 average rating, but we know centre-backs get a lower average rating anyway, so he had a fairly good season, definitely strengthened the defence as well. So I'm very happy with the new signings, especially the 2 wing-backs, Livramento and Gutierrez. One's 22, one's 23, and they got a combined total of 35 assists in the first season. Well, we actually look at the competitions itself. In the league, it went really, really well. We finished 3rd in the league in the end. We actually finished 13 points off Arsenal in the end, who won the league title. Liverpool in 2nd place, but we were firmly in the Champions League places here. 9 points clear of Aston Villa in 5th place. So 3rd in the first season. We predicted to finish 5th in the league, sorry. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with that, 3rd in the league. In terms of the Europa League, though, that was very disappointing in the first season here. Probably going to be the only time we're going to play in the Europa League. Well, fingers crossed it will be. We got knocked out in the round of 16, though, to Bologna. So that's very disappointing. We drew away to Bologna 1-1 in the first leg. So after that, expect to go through, to be honest. But we lost at home to Bologna 1-0 in the second leg. So that was very disappointing. Only the round of 16 in the Europa League. Pretty pathetic, to tell you the truth. In the FA Cup as well, that was also very disappointing because we actually got knocked out in the quarter-final by a Championship side, by Swansea, in the quarter-final 1-0. The draw was very, very kind to us, has to be said. We had West Ham away in the third round, which is a tricky tie. We beat them 5-2. We then played Peterborough and Bristol City at home, and then Swansea away in the quarter-final. Really expect to go through to the semi-final there, and who knows what could have happened after that point. So very disappointing in the FA Cup and the Europa League. The Carabao Cup, though, we won our first piece of silverware in the first season. We beat Southampton in the final 1-0. To be honest, though, the draw did work out nice for us. Beat Stockport in the first round. We then beat Crystal Palace away, then Nottingham Forest at home, then Villa in the semi-final over 2 legs. But we won a trophy in the first season, which is happy to say. It's also looking very familiar to a certain Erik ten Hag's first season, finishing third in the league and winning the Carabao Cup. So hopefully the second season will be better than Erik ten Hag's second season with Man United. So yeah, hopefully that does work out well for us. But third in the league in the first season and a Carabao Cup trophy, I've got to say I'm quite happy with that. Although the FA Cup and the Europa League should have been a lot better as well, though. Obviously, the Community Shield, we lost that. We finished runner-up, losing to Man City 4-1 at the start of the season. When we actually look at the moments to remember here, one thing definitely does stand out, and that was actually beating Chelsea 7-1 at home in the league, which is absolutely incredible. 7-1 in the league. We actually had 7 different goal scorers in this game as well. So what an embarrassing night for Chelsea that is, and a great night for the Man United fans there. Brilliant win that. We actually look at the players this season, how we lined up. It actually went pretty well, the tactic, to be honest with you. The defenders, none of them got over a 7 rating, but that's to be expected. They always have a deflated rating in FootballManager. Anana did all right, 6.87 there. Partnership with De Ligt, Martinez and Tar did quite decent as well. The wing-backs and the 2 DMs had a good average rating, especially the wing-backs. They were brilliant this season. Diallo had a good season, 7.14 there. He only started 14 games though. Bruno Fernandes, not a great average rating, but he did score 21 goals and got 10 assists. And Rasmus Højlund up front, he got 27 goals this season, so he had a good season as well. Well, I think it's safe to say that Livramento was our standout player of the season though. He won the player of the season, the young player of the season, and the signing of the season as well, so he was great. Top goal scorer was, of course, Højlund with 27 goals in total. Most assists as well, Livramento with 18. He also had the highest average rating as well. We look here, record breakers. Most assists by a player in the season went to Livramento as well. Most player match awards in the season went to Miguel Gutierrez with 8 player of the matches as well. So these 2 wing backs this season were absolutely brilliant for us and a much needed upgrade to that part of the pitch. So that is the end of the first season. It went pretty well. Third in the league and the Carabao Cup win as well. So I'm fairly happy with that. But obviously the team is nowhere near done in terms of upgrades here. In terms of priority positions for next season, well, I'm pretty sure we need an attacking midfielder, to be honest. Bruno Fernandes is the mainstay, that is for sure, but I'm struggling to find a good partner for Fernandes. Diallo's done all right, but he does not get rid of the game time for the assistant here. Xerxes, he's had a pretty poor season, has to be said. And also Garnacho is not happy at the club due to lack of game time. So yeah, another 10 would be ideal for next season, maybe even 2. And also a striker as well. Patrick Schick is going back to Leverkusen, of course. I wasn't interested in signing him permanently as well, so yeah, those positions are the priority for me. A new striker and a new attacking midfielder, but also another centre-back as well. Although we strengthened it with Jonathan Tah, I still think we need another centre-back. And of course, other players still need to leave the club, such as Harry Maguire, probably Xerxes as well. I'm looking to sell Xerxes. Johnny Evans will leave. Ericsson needs to go as well. Marcus Rashford still needs to go. Casemiro, Anthony and Mount are only on loan, so they still need to be sold. So hopefully I can get a decent amount of money for a fair few players and I can make some statement signings for the start of Season 2. Well, this is when it starts to get a little bit exciting because at the start of Season 2 here, I've brought in 9 new signings to the club. It's been quite an overhaul here in the second season. Only says 4 signings here, but 5 signings started officially before the start of the season. So we'll look at all the signings in a second. But first of all, let's look at the players that have left the club. Well, the first player to actually leave the club was actually Luke Shaw. Obviously, Miguel Gutierrez was a brilliant left wing back for us last season, a new signing, and Luke Shaw was on 200k a week. So I decided to sell Luke Shaw. He has gone to PSG for £47 million. So a pretty nice fee for him, it has to be said. 30 years of age now, Luke Shaw, and of course he's got injury problems. So he was decent last season for the assistant, but I feel like it was time to cash in on Shaw. £47 million and 200k in the wage bill. Very happy to see the back of Luke Shaw here. Of course, Jadon Sancho joined Chelsea. That happens in real life as well. He's gone there for £25 million. The next sale, though, was Joshua Xerxes. He has gone to buy Leverkusen for £45 million. He's a strange one for me, Xerxes. I don't think they could ever sign him in real life. He is not suited to Man United at all, the way they play football. He's a deep-lying forward. Not looking for that in real life or in this Foot Manager either. So Xerxes was an easy one to sell. £45 million. Very happy with that. He's definitely got ability, but not the right player for the tactical system here. Also, Harry Maguire has left the club. He has gone to Real Madrid for £11.75 million. Again, happy with the sale of him. 32 years of age now. Again, was on 200k a week, and he's got very poor pace. So very happy to see the back of Maguire as well. Also, though, Garnacho has gone out on loan for the season. He's gone on loan to Fulham for the season. I don't think Garnacho will be good enough as an attacking midfielder for us, to be honest. He's firmly a winger-style player. So I've only loaned him out for now, though, to see how he'll develop. But maybe I'll sell him in the future. We shall see. Also, Casemiro has left the club. Thank God for that. He has gone to Al Nassr for just £4 million, though, but had to get rid of him. Had to get him off the books. 300k a week is just terrible. 33 years of age. And as you can see, physically, he's just getting worse and worse as he's getting older here. So, very happy to see the back of Casemiro as well. Also, Mason Mount has gone on loan again. He's gone on loan to Atlanta for the season. Unfortunately, I couldn't sell him permanently, but hopefully he'll finally be able to get rid of him next season. Anthony has also left the club, gone to West Ham for £8 million. Again, happy to see the back of him. Sekou Kone has gone to Brentford for £19.25 million. Only a 19-year-old youngster here. Don't think he hasn't really got that high of potential, to be honest. So 19 years of age now, how much better is he going to get? I don't think he's going to be one to start for us at Man United here. So 19 million for him. Very happy with that. He's gone to Brentford. And also, Marcus Rashford has finally left the club. I've been trying to sell him for ages now. No one wanted to pay his ridiculous wages, of course, but he has gone to Newcastle for £16 million. Only 16 million is definitely low, especially in this Foot Manager, but had to get rid of him. He's not in Man United's plans in real life, so he's not in my plans here in Foot Manager either. So £16 million for him is definitely lowballing it, but he also was on 300k a week. So just in terms of the sales I mentioned here, Marcus Rashford 300k, Casemiro 300k, Maguire 200k, and Luke Shaw 200k as well. So that is over £1 million, well, exactly £1 million in player wages that have left the club. So that has made me be able to strengthen the club massively in this window, and now the club is looking a lot better, has to be said. So let's get to the signings first of all, and the first signing I made was a massive statement signing. I said I needed another number 10, and I've gone out and signed one of the best young number 10s in the world, and that is Florian Wirtz. He has joined us from Bayer Leverkusen for £85 million. This is a no-brainer for me. You know, it's very expensive, but when I saw that he is available and he's interested in joining the club, it's just, you have to drop everything and you have to sign him. It's just quite that simple. It's probably that simple for Man United in real life. If Florian Wirtz, for some strange reason or another, he's actually interested in joining Man United in the summer, doesn't matter. Go spend the money and bring him into the club. It's absolutely unbelievable, and he's still so young as well, especially in Foot Manager. Look at him here. Absolutely unbelievable player. 18 first touch, 18 dribbling, 18 passing, 18 technique, 18 flair, 18 agility as well, and 19 vision. To be honest, he may actually be the best attacking midfielder on the game at this point with these sort of stats here. He's absolutely unbelievable, and to get him at the club here is outstanding. 4.5-star player already, still 22, and the most interesting thing is, he could get slightly better as well. So yeah, very happy with the signing of Florian Wirtz. He's on 205k a week, but this is the sort of player that should be on this sort of wages. Unbelievable signing, so I'm very happy with the signing of Florian Wirtz. £85 million is expensive, but definitely worth it for a player like Wirtz, has to be said. The next signing I made was nowhere near as exciting. I signed Eric Garcia from Barcelona for £4.8 million. Not the best, but he does come in as a backup centre-back. And the reason why I actually signed Garcia is he's a homegrown player in England. Seeing as he started off at Barcelona, but then went to Man City at a young age. So he has got homegrown status here in England. So that is the main reason why I signed him. Not the best, as I said, especially in the air and physically, but he'll do a job as a backup centre-back for such cheap money. Also on cheap wages as well, only 48k a week. The next signing is actually an interesting one as well. They're actually interested in signing Patrick Dorgu in real life, and I've actually signed him in the second season here from Lecce for £20 million. He comes in as a backup left wing back to Gutierrez, effectively replacing Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is a better player at the moment, has to be said, but he's only 20 years of age. He's got a very high ceiling as well, and he's only on 37.5k a week. So hopefully he'll get better as the time goes on. He's on much cheaper wages than Luke Shaw, and he's also 10 years younger. So I'm happy with the signing of Dorgu. The next signing is again another exciting one, another new centre-back. A massive upgrade in that position. I have signed Ousmane Diomande from Amorim's former club, Sporting Lisbon, for £45 million. So we actually look at these signings here. Some of them might not be that unrealistic, to be honest. Dorgu and Diomande, I can certainly see both those players playing for Man United. Diomande with the Sporting Lisbon links, and of course Dorgu, they're interested in signing him in real life. Florian Wirtz, could Man United get them after a season they're going to have this season? A little bit of a debate there, but you know, he might be interested in joining Man United. They pay big wages for him, they're a massive club, so who knows? But Diamande's joined the club as well. Very excited of signing him. He's a great overall centre-back, great physically, great mentally as well. He's also got 16 passing and 17 vision. And also, he's 21 years of age, so one for the future as well, but also a very important player right now. Potentially 4.5 stars. A great signing to make, Diomande. The next one I signed is actually Junior Krupi. I signed him from FC Lorient for £15.5 million. Only a young player here, only 19 years of age, but of course, most of you will be familiar with the name Junior Krupi. He's got a very, very high ceiling, and £15.5 million could be an absolute steal for how good this player could become in the future. As you see there, he's on loan to Cadiz for the season to continue his development. The next signing I made as well is another very exciting attacking midfielder. That is Noah Davic. He has joined us from Barcelona B for just £4.4 million. Again, one for the future, but £4.4 million could be an absolute steal in the future. He's actually gone on loan to Schalke for the season. Only 18 years of age, about to turn 19, but again, his ceiling is very, very high. We've actually signed another attacking midfielder who will come into the first team. That is Martin Baturina. He joins us from Dinamo Zagreb for £26 million. Of course, he'll be back up to Fernandes and Wirtz, but again, he's a young player, 22 years of age. Not on high wages at all, and he's also versatile as well. He can play in DM if needed as a secondo volante, but mainly he's an attacking midfielder, but 22 years of age, he should get better, and cheap money as well. The next two signings are also very exciting. Amorim has joined us from Porto for £47 million as our new striker to battle out Højlund. A great signing to make. Very happy with this. A very complete striker. Amorim, very good physically. 6'4" as well. 18 jumping reach. Great mentally. So a great signing to make. And again, he's only 21 years of age. We're building for the future here for Man United. Young, great players, potentially world class. These are the players that I want to sign. And last and definitely not least, I have also signed Diogo Costa from also Porto for £45 million. Costa, any of you who play for Manager on a regular basis will know that he's arguably the number one goalkeeper to sign in FootballManager. I always try and sign this guy. He's cheap, and he's also got potentially to be the best goalkeeper in the world. So he has joined the club. A massive upgrade on Onana. He's still at the club. Onana is backup. You actually compare the two here. In terms of shot stopping, Costa is much better than Onana. He's also better in other departments as well. So very happy with the signing of Costa. I'm very happy with all the signings of the players, to be honest. I feel like it's been a great window, and the team is suddenly starting to really take shape now. So we actually look at the assistant's opinion of the best 11 at the start of season 2 here. Obviously Costa in goal is a massive upgrade on Onana. Onana's a decent keeper, but Costa is world class, and he could get even better yet as well, which is kind of scary. We look at the centre-backs as well. We've got Diomande, De Ligt and Martinez. We've obviously, of course, got Jonathan Tah as well, but the assistant seems to think this is the best back three. Can't say I argue with him, to be honest. Jonathan Tah is a good player, but Diomande is a massive upgrade in that position as well. De Ligt and Martinez. We've also got good cover as well now in Jonathan Tah and Eric Garcia, and also Lenny Yoro. He's still a young player as well. The players in front of that haven't changed. We've got Gutierrez on the left, had a brilliant season, as did Livramento there. Ugarte and Mainu, but look at that attack midfield now. Bruno Fernandes and Florian Wirtz. That is a scary, scary attack midfield there. And of course, Amorim up front as well. This team here is definitely better than last season's team. You know, we've upgraded the striker position. Florian Wirtz over Diallo or Xerxes. It's not even you can't even make a comparison there. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Florian Wirtz, one upgrade. Also Costa as well. Diomande. I think it's safe to say that I'm excited about this season. We finished third in the league last season and won the Carabao Cup. Can we do any better this season? Can we mount a title challenge? And what can we do in the Champions League? Well, I was very excited at the start of the season with the signings I made, and rightly so. And no surprises to see who was the best signing we made. Florian Wirtz, 60 games this season, 26 goals and 19 assists. 45 goal involvements for Wirtz. What a season he's had. And what a signing we've made there. Unbelievable. Dorgu as well. He featured in 46 games in total. Backup squad player, left wing back there, but he had a very good season. 9 assists for him. Also, Baturina got 9 goals and 9 assists. Diogo Costa. Well, Diogo Costa was actually our signing of the season official, but only a 7.14 average rating. But that is a high average rating for a goalkeeper. 60 games he started this season, so What a signing he's been. Also, Amorim, not as quite as convincing as some of the other players, but he's still got 26 goals in 57 games, but only a 7.05 average rating. Also, Diamande had a very good season, and Eric Garcia, when he started 24 games as well, he also had a good season. So, I was very excited at the start of the season with the signings I made, and rightly so, because in the second season, we won the league title already. With 91 points, 11 points clear of Arsenal in second place. It was a brilliant second season, better than I expected, to be honest, but Florian Wirtz coming into the club, and Costa and Amorim, they made a big difference to the club, it has to be said, and especially towards the end of the season here, what a run of form we had. I think we won 12 games in a row there, which is absolutely incredible, including beating Man City at home 3-0, Tottenham at home 2-1 as well, and yeah, it was just all in all a brilliant season, has to be said. A lot of wins there, especially towards the end of the season. And we ran out deserved winners. But also, that is not even half the trophies, because not only did we win the Premier League title, we also won the Champions League in the second season. Definitely gone a lot better than I expected in the early stages here. Was not expecting us to win the Champions League. Not even get close to winning the Champions League. But what a second season. We actually didn't start off too well in the league phase. As you can see, a couple of losses there to Barcelona and Porto. Also drew away to Galatasaray. We actually didn't qualify for the straight round of 16. Had to go through the playoff, but actually it seems like we did qualify through the top 8, which is a little bit surprising with 2 losses there. But anyway, we beat AC Milan in the round of 16. Then Ajax in the quarter-final. Arsenal in the semi-final. We lost the first leg 2-1 to Arsenal, but then beat them 5-2 at home in the second leg. And we beat Barcelona 1-0 in the Champions League final. So we won the Premier League and the Champions League. And we also won the FA Cup as well. So a nice treble in the second season. We've also won every single trophy so far in just 2 seasons, which is quite incredible here in just 2 seasons here. Has to be said though, the FA Cup draw was very, very favourable. We beat Cheltenham 11-0 in the first round, or third round. We then beat Reading. Brighton was our toughest game. Only drew to Brighton 1-1. We beat them on penalties. Then we had to play Ipswich in the quarter-final, Palace in the semi-final, and Burnley in the final. So, has to be said, the draw opened up for us. But to be honest, we won the Premier League and the Champions League. So, even with a bigger club to face in the FA Cup, there's no reason to think we couldn't beat them and still go on to win the cup competition. Unfortunately, we came this close to winning the quadruple in the second season, but we lost the Carabao Cup final to Tottenham on penalties after drawing 1-1. So, what can I say? The second season, we can't get much better than this. A treble to finish the season, the league, the Champions League and the FA Cup. And we also came 1 game away, or 1 penalty away, from winning a famous quadruple in the second season. Well, no surprise about Florian Wirtz here. He won the Player of the Season and the Young Player of the Season, along with Livramento last season, of course. The signing of the season, though, went to Diogo Costa. Goal of the season went to Mainu. Top goal scorer was actually Florian Wirtz with 26 goals, but also Amorim got 26 goals as well. But Florian Wirtz also got 19 assists. So, yeah, that's a statement signing, that isn't Florian Wirtz. That is a player that that every club should want to sign, to be honest. And we got him, and we got him for the long haul. He is not for sale for any price beyond this point, and hopefully he'll be a key player for us in the future. So, the second season cannot get much better than that, but the rebuild is not over, because to prove that it was not a fluke, we need to continue this and try and maintain the league title. Also try and win as many Champions League and FA Cups as possible. It's still very early days, and I'm hoping we can follow this, but it's always hard to follow a treble, it has to be said. Can you go treble, treble, treble? We shall see. The team is still not complete, it has to be said. I'm still not happy with the full centre-back situation. I'd still like to bring in some more centre-back cover, has to be said. Also, I feel like every position could still use an upgrade in terms of the squad, in terms of the actual positions itself. Of course, Costa's got the goalkeeper position nailed down. Florian Wirtz attacking midfield as well. The wing-backs are good. But in terms of the whole squad itself, signings are still needed. So let's go forward out to the start of Season 3 and let's see what signings I make. Well, at the start of Season 3 here, made all the signings, and I think it's safe to say it's very similar to Season 2. A massive club overhaul here. £336 million in terms of player sales. So a lot of players have left the club. The first on the lead was Amad Diallo, went to Real Sociedad for £31 million. A decent player, but not being used by the assistant too much. And also that position has gone on leaps and bounds since we signed Florian Wirtz and Bacharina. So he has left the club. Also, Jonathan Tah, he only came in as a temporary signing. He's a good player, but he's 30 years of age now. He has gone to Al Ali for £34.5 million. Matt Sraoui as well, only a backup right wing back these days, behind Livramento, so he's joined Real Madrid for £41.5 million. I finally managed to get rid of Mason Mount, which is good. Only £6 million, but at least we got him off the books. He has gone to Atlanta. Alsness as well has left the club. He has gone to Al Hilal for £64 million. £64 million for a 30-year-old, almost 31-year-old. I'm very happy with that. He was a very good player for us, Alsness, a very versatile player, but his head was turned, understandably, when the Saudi clubs were interested. But to get £64 million for him, ecstatic with that. Also, Biandir has left the club. He's gone to Tottenham for £10 million. Shea Lacey has also joined Tottenham for £10 million. Only a youngster here, but potential isn't so high. And then after that point, a couple of surprising sales, has to be said. Gutierrez has joined Chelsea for £55 million. The reason why I sold Gutierrez is he actually dropped below Dorgu in the pecking order last season in terms of the wing back. Dorgu's progressed very nicely, so decided to cash in on Gutierrez whilst I still can. He has joined a Premier League rival of ours, but £55 million is very nice. Baccarina as well, we signed him for £26 million. We sold him for £26.5 million. He's gone to AC Milan. Garnacho has left to Bayer Leverkusen for only £10 million. And Højlund has joined Fulham for £45 million. Of course, Højlund was very good in the first season, but Amorim is definitely an upgrade on Højlund, and Højlund is only a backup striker these days, so he has left the club as well. Well, in terms of signings, very exciting signings. Signed two signings very much at the start of the transfer window here. Frimpong, a player I tried to sign in the first season. I've managed to get him in the third season. He has joined us from Bayer Leverkusen for £64 million. As a right back, he's not so good because defensively he's not great, but as a right wing back, he is amazing. One of the best right wing backs on the game. Got great dribbling ability, great off the ball as well, and also great pace. 18 acceleration and 18 pace. Got two great right wing backs now in Livramento and Frimpong, so I'm very happy with that. I also signed Antonio Silva from Benfica for £47.5 million. Of course, a very highly rated young centre-back, 22 years of age now. Very complete centre-back, so I'm very happy with the signing of him. Another exciting signing is Pedri. Pedri has actually joined us from Barcelona on loan for the season. I was interested in signing Pedri on a permanent signing. I was able to get him, well, as you can see there, between 75 to £92 million, but he actually got loan listed from Barcelona, so I thought, you know what? Let's just loan him for a season, see how he does, and maybe sign him in the future. Pedri, of course, is an outstanding attack midfielder. Now we've got Pedri, Florian Wirtz, and Fernandes as our number 10. So, yeah, very happy with the loan signing of Pedri. Lewis Ferguson has joined us from Bologna for £72 million. I wince when I say £72 million because I think I've overspent on him a little bit here. But he is a good number 8 and a good Secondo Volante player to have at the club. And also, he's a slight upgrade on Alsness, I'd say. Maybe a very similar level, actually, Alsness and Ferguson. But Ferguson is 4 years younger. We've also spent only £8 million more than what we sold Alsness for. So I guess it's not as bad as it first seems. Augusto is a new backup left wing back at the club. Only £11 million. And the last signing, definitely not least, I went big. I spent £135 million, a new record signing, on Rodrigo from Real Madrid. He is a new striker at the club to battle out Amorim. He's a different type of striker though. He hasn't got the height, only 5'9", and only got a 9 jumping reach. But he is an outstanding player, has to be said, a world-class striker. He can also play in the middle as well if needed as one of the number 10s. But I've signed him for up front. Hopefully he delivers for us because he was very expensive. But as you can see, his value there, over double the value what we spent on him. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he turns out to be a great signing for us. So in terms of the team at the start of season 3 here, Rodrigo is apparently our best striker now above Amorim. But other than that, nothing has changed in terms of the players. Well, Antonio Silva comes into the starting 11 here, and Dorgu is the new number 1 left wing back as well. But the main thing is actually look at our bench. We've got Diamande here, Pedri, Amorim, Lewis Ferguson, Frimpong on the bench as well. In terms of the squad is starting to look very, very complete. It has to be said. And yeah, the assistant has got an abundance of talent to pick from this season. So hopefully we can have another good season. But last season was very special. We won a treble. We came very close to winning the quadruple. Can we do something similar in season 3? Well, let's find out. Well, season 2 was very special. We won a treble, the league, the Champions League, and the FA Cup. Definitely over-exceeded expectations last season, but unfortunately, season 3, back down to reality. Last season seems a little bit like a fluke at the moment. Get to the league table in a second, but It didn't go too well, it has to be said. Not a great title defence at all, but in terms of new signings though, Jeremy Frimpong was very, very good. Signing for £64 million, and he was the most outstanding signing by a mile. He only started 36 games, he played 53 games in total. He scored 5 goals and got 19 assists as well. So he is a great right wing back, and he proved it this season. Rodrigo, not as great. Is he looking like a £135 million player? Probably not. He only started 23 games in the season. He did pick up an injury or two. 38 games in total. Only got 15 goals and 1 assist in the season. So a little bit on the poor side, but it is only his first season. Only started 23 games as well. So hopefully he'll get better going forward. Augusto, only a backup left wing back, but he did decent. Lewis Ferguson as well, only a backup player, but he did decent as well. Antonio Silva, he's played in 52 games and got a 6.86 average rating. In terms of loan signing, Pedri, well, I have to say, very, very underwhelming indeed. Very underwhelming. Not looking like Pedri in real life. 36 games he played, only got 3 goals and 2 assists in the season. So I think it's safe to say that we'll not be signing Pedri on a permanent signing. So to be honest, the signings didn't work out as well as I hoped they would. Obviously, the 4 standout ones are Frimpong, Rodrigo, Ferguson and Pedri. Pedri was very underwhelming. Rodrigo was meh, to say the least. But Frimpong was a very, very good signing. But other than Frimpong, the other signings didn't work out quite as well as I hoped they would. Something else that didn't work out quite as well as I hoped they would was the league. We finished in 5th place this season with only 70 points. So very, very disappointing. Very poor title defence, I should say. 5th in the league. It says we qualified for the Europa League, but due to coefficients, I have checked it before, we have qualified for the Champions League. Hasn't updated there yet, but thankfully we have qualified for the Champions League just. But yeah, 5th in the league in the 3rd season. Very underwhelming. As I said though, I do go on holiday for the season. So the assistant, he just wasn't good this season, which is a bit surprising, has to be said. Defensively, we were poor this season. That was our main Achilles heel this season. So that is the priority for next season, to bring even better centre-backs at the club. So yeah, because this season just was not good enough at all. Also, the Champions League defence wasn't great either. Got knocked out in the round of 16, but we did get knocked out by Real Madrid. So I guess you can say that we're a bit unlucky with a draw there. Again, the league phase didn't go well though. This time we had to go through the playoff. We only just got through Porto on penalties and then got knocked out to Real Madrid. We also lost the Super Cup at the start of the season to Chelsea 1-0, so that's disappointing. The FA Cup, we got knocked down in the quarter-final by Tottenham, drawing 0-0, losing on penalties. In the Carabao Cup quarter-final, Tottenham also knocked us out of that as well. We did, however, though, win a trophy in the 3rd season, albeit the Community Shield, beating Arsenal 1-0 in the final. If you're wondering why I haven't been sacked this season, well, for the sake of the rebuild, as I go on holiday for the season, I don't take charge of the team on a day-to-day basis. I'm effectively the director of football, really. So I made myself unsackable for the sake of the rebuild, because this season deserved the sack, it has to be said. Not very good at all, and I think it's safe to say I need to go back to the drawing board, because this season has been woeful after the amazing 2nd season we had. In terms of player of the season this time round, though, it goes to Amorim this time round. So Rodrigo, the player I signed to effectively be the number 1 striker, and Amorim to be a squad player. Obviously starting many games as well, but Amorim actually stepped his level up this season. He got an average rating of 7.3, and he was the player of the season and the young player of the season. Signing of the season though was obviously Frimpong. That's just an absolute walk in the park there. Top goal scorer was Amorim with 35 goals this season. Last season he got 26, so 9 more goals is nice for him. And Frimpong got 19 assists, of course, so he had a good season as well. Those were the 2 standout players, Frimpong and Amorim. Strangely enough though, Florian Wirtz actually won the Champions League Player of the Season. I think that might count as for last season, to be honest, because I can't see how he won the Player of the Season. He got knocked down in the round of 16. He also won the Young Player of the Season as well. Also, Diogo Costa won the World Golden Glove and the World Goalkeeper of the Year, but I think that counts for last season, to be honest. I can't see how Wirtz could have won the Champions League Player of the Season this season, since he's got knocked down in the round of 16. Yeah, season 3, not great to tell you the truth, to be honest. Going forward was quite good though, as you can see there. Got 2nd most goals in the season, 82 goals, just below Man City, so that's quite decent. Fewest shots against as well, 3rd in the league, not too bad to be honest, but you actually look at the fewest conceded here. 8th in the league with 47 goals conceded, not good enough at all. Most clean sheets, 15 clean sheets as well. We had the most shots in the season, albeit by 1 over Man City, but going forward, looking quite good. Amorim's banging the goals in for fun. Obviously got Wirtz as a number 10 and Bruno Fernandes as well. But defensively, not looking too great, a lot weaker than last season. We actually conceded more than 20 goals this season than we did last season. So something's not right with the centre-halves at the moment, or the DM position. So that is the priority going into season 4. Hopefully I can strengthen that position and we can bounce back in the 4th season. Well, the fourth season hasn't been quite an overhaul as the last 2 seasons, but I've still brought in players to strengthen the team, that is for sure, but not as many players as last season especially. But in terms of players to leave us, well, Lisandro Martinez has joined Napoli for £40 million. He is a good player, but I feel like he was one of our weak points last season with his lack of height and lack of pace. That is a position I'd look to strengthen in the centre-back department, so he has left the club, Martinez. Also, Lima has gone to Al Ittihad for £45 million. And Bruno Fernandes, he's been a great servant. He's been great in the first 3 seasons, but he's now 32, I believe. Yeah, 32. So he has gone to Al Hilal for £50 million. We've also got, of course, Florian Wirtz in that position. So he's our number 1 attacking midfielder. So Bruno Fernandes, £50 million for a 32-year-old. Very happy with that sale. Also, Eric Garcia has gone to Napoli as well for £20 million, effectively, basically. Harry Amas, who is a very highly rated youngster here, he has gone to Juventus for £20.5 million. He's a backup, well, he's an emerging left wing back. He could have done a job for us, has to be said. He's at a decent level, but I needed to raise some funds to bring some more players in, and Harry Amas was an easy one to sell, since we've got Dorgu there, who's a higher rated youngster than Amas. We've also got Augusto who's a better player than Amas as well. So ideally I'd like to keep him, but £20.5 million, hopefully I won't live to regret this sale. In terms of the players to join us though, the first one I signed is a new number 10 to replace Bruno Fernandes, and it's a very exciting player. That is Valentin Carboni from Inter Milan. £85 million, again very expensive, but he's a very, very good player. He can also play up front as well, and as you can see there, technically especially, he's a very, very good player. He's also good physically as well. The bad news is though, as soon as he signed for us, he broke his leg, which is not nice to see. As you can see there, he's out for 3 to 4 months with a broken leg, so that is not ideal at all. I had to come up with another plan to bring in another number 10, because Carboni is effectively missing the first third of the season. The next signing I made though is definitely a massive upgrade, or an upgrade, not a massive upgrade, to the left-sided centre-back position. That is Castello Lukeba, who has joined us from RB Leipzig for £91 million to replace Martinez. He is a very, very good player, another very complete centre-back. The centre-backs I like to sign, very good defensively, which of course is important, but he's also got great composure, and he's also got great pace as well. He's only 6 foot, so he's not the tallest centre-back to have, but he's also good in the air, 15 jumping reach and 16 heading. A lot better than Martinez, a lot quicker, and a lot better in the air than Martinez as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that can strengthen the defensive position of the club. The other 3 signings, though, not as exciting. I brought in James Maddison on loan from Tottenham for the season. I brought Maddison in purely because he's a homegrown player in England, and Carboni is out for 4 months of the season. That is why, of course, he's not amazing FootballManager. He's a good technical player, but physically he is not the best at all, and he's also 30 years of age now. We have got an optional future fee of £41 million to sign Maddison, but I'm definitely not going to sign him permanently. He is purely a temporary loan signing to help with the cover and attacking midfield department. So that is why I signed Maddison on loan. Ibanez, though, he's a centre-back. I signed him on a free transfer, which is nice. He used to play for a Saudi club. I was a bit worried he might demand too high wages, but 120k a week for a good centre-back as a backup option. Happy with the signing of him. And the last signing I made is actually Sivert Mansverk, who's a new DM player to replace Lima. I signed him for £50 million from Ajax. Not amazing, but he's still relatively young, 25 years of age, and he's only firmly here as a backup DM player. So I feel like I've strengthened the centre-back department of the club. As you can see, Lukeba here now over Martinez. Martinez is a good player, a good servant, but aerially and in terms of the pace, really struggled. And another thing we struggled for last season was actually set pieces. We conceded a lot of goals from corners last season, so I feel like I need to add more height to the team. Martinez is only 5'9", definitely a weak point when it comes to set pieces, and also long balls forward as well. So Lukeba definitely strengthened that position, in my opinion. Also, Carboni comes in for Fernandes. Not really an upgrade over Fernandes, but Carboni is like 8 years younger, and yeah, he's 8 years younger, so it's an upgrade in terms for the future. But unfortunately, he's broke his leg, so that is disappointing. So the 3rd season was very disappointing. Hopefully, the 4th season can be an improvement. Let's see what we can do. Well, last season's problem was the defence. Unfortunately, this season's problem was the attack. I strengthened the defence this season. It was definitely an improvement, that is for sure, but unfortunately, we were lacking going forward this season. So again, not a great season, has to be said. The 2nd season seems like a mile away now, long time ago now, because the 3rd and 4th season have not been good enough, it has to be said. And again, I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board in terms of a striker, because there's a certain player I spent quite a big money on, who is not doing the business at all. In terms of the new signings this season, as you can see, none of them really took off. None of them with a green rating. The best one we had though was Carboni with a 6.95 average rating, and to be honest, he had quite a decent season considering he came to a new club, a new league, and he broke his leg immediately. To get 7 goals and 5 assists in 37 games, I've heard of worse first seasons, to be honest, so definitely a promise for Carboni. He's only 23 actually, I thought he was a little bit older than that, so yeah, not a great first season, but he did break his leg, so we'll let him off. Manswerk only started 17 games, he featured 50 times. He had quite a good season, to be fair, as a squad player. Lukebur as well, 6.92, quite high average rating for a centre-back, so I guess he's looking worse than what it actually is. Carboni broke his leg, Manswerk is a squad player, and Lukebur is a centre-back, so all three of the players here had pretty good seasons. Ibanez as well, he had quite a good season as well, only a squad player, and Madison obviously was only a temporary signing. Well, in terms of the league this season, we did manage to finish 4th in the league, 1 place better than last season, but after what we did in the second season, it is definitely very poor. As I said though, the defence was very good this season. Defence was definitely an upgrade, but it was the attack that let us down. It may look like it's I'm talking nonsense here, so we've got a plus 46 goal difference, but really the attack was not good enough this season. Some games we scored like 8 goals, I think. Yeah, we beat Everton at home 8-0. We also had a couple of 4-0 wins in there as well, but overall the attack was not good enough. We were in a title challenge this season though. We only finished 11 points behind Man City, but as you can see here, towards the end of the season, this was the problem period for us. We lost 3 games in a row to Everton away, Palace at home, and then Arsenal away, all without scoring a goal as well. It's what I mean, very important, the attack this season. These 1-0 losses to Everton and Palace, we needed a prolific striker. We had other 2-1 losses as well, 1-0 loss at home to Villa as well. They were the problem this season because defensively, we were pretty solid. But all in all, a very poor season again. 1 place higher than last season, but this time round, it's the attack that has left us down, not the defence. In the Champions League, again, back-to-back seasons, knocked down around the 16, this time to PSG, unfortunately. We actually beat them at home 1-0 in the first leg. We got battered in the second leg, losing 4-0 away. In the FA Cup, got knocked down in the 5th round, this time to Brighton, losing on penalties. And in the Carabao Cup, unfortunately, we lost in the semi-final to Liverpool over 2 legs. So this is actually our first season without a trophy. In the first season, we won the Carabao Cup. The second season, we obviously won the treble. And last season, we won the Community Shield at least. But this season, no trophy for us. So, yeah, the 3rd and 4th season hasn't gone too well, has to be said. But I've also got high hopes for next season with the right signings to strengthen the attack. Yeah, as you can see here, in terms of the average rate of the players, not a great season. Frimpong, though, had another standout season, 7.29 this season. He was a brilliant player again. Unfortunately, though, I put a lot of faith in Dorgu for this season, but he did not really do the business for me. A 6.97 average rating, only 6 assists for Dorgu in 40 games. Not good enough. That's a position I want to strengthen as well, the left wing-back position. The centre-backs were quite good partnership, and the goalkeeper as well. As I said, the defence was quite good. In terms of the attacking midfield, well, Noah Darvic is at the club now as a first-team player, and he did very well. 7 assists and 15 goals to partner Florian Wirtz. But going forward was a problem. Amorim got 35 goals last season. This season, only 14. He only started 21 games, though. Played in 32 games in total, because there's a certain other player called Rodrigo who was absolutely terrible this season. Absolutely terrible. Shocking player. For 135 million, it's purely abysmal what he did this season. And I really feel like I messed up. You know what? I actually feel like this 3rd and 4th season, one of the biggest mistakes I've made was actually signing Rodrigo, because he has no height. I don't know what I was thinking signing him, to be honest. I just got very excited with the rest of his ability, the rest of his attributes, but I should not have signed Rodrigo, and that is what I want to do going into Season 5. I want to sell Rodrigo, take my losses on him, cut the losses, but bring in another striker, another big striker, to battle out Amorim and have a serious aerial threat in there as well. We've got the wing-backs going forward with great crossing ability, but with Rodrigo starting up front, which he did most of the season, he has not got the aerial threat we need in the box. So that is the priority going into next season. Sell Rodrigo and bring in a better striker who is taller and can head the ball in the back of the net for us. But also, I do want to strengthen with the left wing-back position. I'm also looking at a couple of DMs as well to try and strengthen that position as well, because this season hasn't been good enough. Hopefully the next season can be better. Let's go forward then to the start of Season 5. Can I strengthen the club in the striker position and get the feel-good factor back and start to win trophies again? Well, I think it's safe to say that the last 2 seasons haven't gone to plan. Not at all. Only one trophy won in the last 2 seasons. That was the Community Shield. So I made big changes for the season. As I said, last season, the attack just was not good enough. And I'm placing the blame mainly on one player. And I've sold him. Rodrigo has gone to Barcelona of all teams for just £63 million. More than half the money I spent on him. But I feel that passionately about Rodrigo leaving the club. I just had to take the money. Honestly, I believe that if I did not sign Rodrigo and I signed a striker who actually had an aerial threat up front, then we could have done a lot better in the last 2 seasons and should have done a lot better as well. Talking of his last season, he scored 7 goals in 30 games in the league, 24 starts, with a 6.74 average rating. For a player of his calibre, that is absolutely terrible. And he got 10 goals in total in 45 appearances. So he just had to leave the club. The assistant insisted on picking him over Amorim. As I said, I go on holiday for the seasons. He's in charge of the team selection. If I was in charge on a day-to-day basis, Amorim would be starting every game ahead of Rodrigo with this sort of form. So he had to leave the club mainly for that reason. Get him out of the club. Don't let the assistant pick him. That is why I've taken a big loss on him. Was not a great signing I made. It has to be said. I'm very ashamed of it, to be honest. £135 million for a player who just did not work out at all. Only 7 goals last season, so he has left the club for a big loss. Also, Onana has finally left the club. Only a backup goalkeeper these days, of course. He's gone to Benfica for £15 million. Also, Augusto, our backup left wing-back, has gone to Chelsea for £26 million. It seems like Chelsea like to sign our wing-backs. They also signed Gutierrez a couple of seasons ago as well. Ibrahimov, who's a youngster here, come from the academy. He has gone to Newcastle for £10 million. A couple of other academy prospects as well. Jim Thwaites, I think he's a real player. Yeah, he's a real player, Jim Thwaites. He has gone to Everton for £6 million. Ali Clark is a regen. He has gone to Inter Milan for £5 million. And Lewis Ferguson has gone to Newcastle for £63 million. I'm happy with the money I got back from Ferguson, to be honest. I signed him for £72 million. I've got £63 million of that back. He's a decent player, but needed to cash in on him to get. I think I needed to get actually a homegrown player at the club in his position, so or in any position. So Ferguson had to leave, and I sold him for £63 million. In terms of players to join us, well, I actually put a bid in for Sesko one day after the end of the season. That is how passionate I was. I needed to sign a big striker. You don't get much bigger than Sesko. He has joined us for £82 million. He's actually not at his peak. He's actually peak potential he can get in FootballManager. So it's not the best version of Sesko we could see, but the one big thing about Sesko is he's 6'4", he's got an 18 jumping reach and 15 heading. So a massive upgrade on Rodrigo in terms of that aspect of the game. And I think that's very important for us in the tactic we play here as well. He's also got great pace as well. So him and Amorim up front, both 6'4", both great in the air, both quick as well. Hopefully these two can bang the goals in for us this season and get us back to winning ways in the competitions. Of course, with Onana leaving the club, I had to sign up a backup goalkeeper, and I signed Nubel from Bayern Munich for £9 million. But also, it seems like I haven't learnt my lesson, because I've signed another player for £130 million this time. £5 million less than Rodrigo. I've signed Alphonso Davies from Bayern Munich. But the difference is, in terms of the tactical system we're playing with, I feel like Alphonso Davies could possibly be the best left wing back on the game. Obviously, again, similar to Dorgu and also Frimpong as left back. He's not the best left back on the game because defensively he's not amazing, but going forward he's class. 17 dribbling, 16 work rate, 16 flair as well, 19 acceleration and 19 pace. We've got 2 rapid wing backs, Frimpong on the right and Davies on the left. I also said that Dorgu's not really doing much for me in the last season or two. A little bit disappointed with his progress, to be honest. Not quite as good as I expected him to be. He's still a decent player, but I feel like this is a position we could strengthen. Davies was available to sign. He's 27 years of age, at his peak, and fingers crossed he works out better than Rodrigo did. The other 2 players I signed are actually 2 young players for the future. Abdoulaye Conan from Newcastle for £33 million and Norberto Ray from Racing Club for £12.5 million. 2 regen players with bright future. I've also signed Miles Lewis-Skelly from Arsenal on loan for the season. He was what I was mentioning about. I need another homegrown player at the club. And he's only a 2-star player, but I feel like that's underrating him a little bit. Only 21 years of age. Surprised I got him on loan, to be honest, but he's not a regular starter for Arsenal. And he's purely here as a backup player. He is English though, so he helps with the homegrown status rules. That is the only reason I signed him on loan, but hopefully he works out to be a decent player. But of course, in terms of the statement signings this season, I've strengthened the left wing back with Alphonso Davies, arguably the best wing back on the game, left wing back at least.
And also I signed Sesko, who's 7 inches taller than Rodrigo, so hopefully he'll be an aerial threat in the box, and hopefully him and Amorim will get the goals for us this season to get us back where we belong, and that is top of the Premier League. Well, I made big decisions here in this season. Obviously, the last 2 seasons hadn't gone well. Season 3, the defense was the problem. Season 4, the attack was the problem. I feel like I strengthened the attack this season, and I feel like it's worked. Benjamin Sesko got 33 goals this season in 42 games and 4 assists with a 7.36 average rating. So you compare that to Rodrigo from last season, a massive upgrade. 33 goals compared to Rodrigo's 10, and he also got a 0.66 better average rating as well. So Sesko definitely worked out this season, but also Alphonso Davies, £130 million spent on him. He actually was the signing of the season. 47 games played, 7 goals and 13 assists as well, with a 7.51 average rating. So it was big money, but it seems like he's repaid that money in the first season at least. Hopefully he continues this, but he's been brilliant as well. A massive strengthening in the left wing back position. Really big upgrade over Patrick Dorgu here. And although he's technically a defensive player in this system, he's more like an attacking player. So Davies and Sesko have made a massive difference to the attack this season, and have sent us to pretty good things as well. We'll get to that in a second. Miles Lewis-Skelly, by the way, he featured much more than I thought he would. He played in 47 games in total. He got 7 goals and 10 assists with a 7.17 average rating, so he's a very good signing as well. I'm not interested in signing him permanently though, because his value has increased massively since he's played so well for us this season. It doesn't justify signing him for next season, but he definitely was a good addition for this season. Also, Newball only played 2 games, but only a backup goalkeeper. And Diego Gallo as well. He's a new wonder kid. He joined us in January. Only played 11 games, but he also had a decent average rating as well. But the 2 main signings of the season, Davies and Sesko, they were massive impact players this season, and they set us on to new levels. So I'm very happy with the signing of those 2 players. And as you can see there, these 2 players led us to the league title again, back to winning ways after 2 poor seasons. Champions this season, and thankfully this season the defence and the attack were both on point, and we finished 10 points clear of Arsenal in the end, in second place there. The period that won us the title was the period here from the mid-October, after we lost away to Chelsea 1-0. We didn't lose a game again until we lost to West Ham away 3-1. So what? 4 months unbeaten in the league campaign. That is what won us the league title. Also had some big wins in here as well. Beating Arsenal at home 1-0, beating Newcastle away, Tottenham at home, Chelsea at home. We also beat Liverpool away 4-1 and Arsenal away 2-0. Actually, no, the point that actually won us the league title, was actually this point here. These 4 games are 4 very tricky games. We won all 4 of them. Beat Liverpool and Arsenal away. Beat Villa and Newcastle at home as well. So all in all, a fantastic season in the league. Back to winning ways. 92 points, plus 65 goal difference. Thank you, Sesko, and thank you, Davies. The Champions League got a little bit better this season as well from the last 2 seasons, and a very interesting story here in the Champions League. As I said, I go on holiday for the season. I do check up on things though, see how the season's going. Also see what injuries we've got as well, of course, and see what any changes I can make in terms of bringing players in and stuff like that, and seeing if any players I can recall from loan as well. And this season was actually the only season I actually managed a team in a game, and that is because we lost away to Real Madrid 7-1. In the semi-final first leg. I should give a little bit more context to this though. It's not like we were absolutely horrendous in this game. We were, but we did go down to 9 men in the first half of the game. That is why we lost 7-1. I thought to myself that there's no way the assistant can win by more than 6 goals in the second leg under normal circumstances. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to manage the team for this game. I came back for this game. I went attacking as you would do to try and score as many goals, and I also went very attacking in the game as well. Went with 2 strikers up front, 2 centre backs, wing backs turned into wingers, all sorts of crazy stuff. But it almost paid off, because in the second leg we also scored 7 goals, but unfortunately we conceded 2. It was a very thrilling end to the match. It was a great game in total. They actually won 9-8 on aggregate, so it's almost a sensational story, but unfortunately the first leg did a lot of damage. But as I said, context into that first leg, we went down to 9 men, but going down to 9 men in the semi-final away to Real Madrid is criminal, so it cost us in the end. But all in all, Champions League campaign pretty decent. Of course, we won the league title, which is of course amazing. The FA Cup, we got knocked down in the 4th round, unfortunately, but again, a little bit of context here. We got knocked down to Man City, got them to a replay at home at Old Trafford, but unfortunately, we lost that game 2-1. Also, the Carabao Cup was disappointing as well, losing to Brighton on penalties in the 4th round. But the good news is we're back to winning ways in the league, won our 2nd league title. We also got to the semi-final of the Champions League, lost out in dramatic circumstances, but back to winning ways in the league. That is something at least, another major trophy at the club, and back on top in England. Well, moments to remember here. One that definitely stands out here is the match to remember away to Liverpool. Beat them 4-1, which was a very nice win. Sesko, Frimpong, Carboni and Mansberg on the score sheet there. That was a great day for the fans, that one. If we look at the players here as well, well, as you can see here, the attack were very good this season. Sesko, a brilliant signing, 33 goals in 36 starts for him. But Florian Wirtz and Darvic had great seasons as well. Darvic, by the way, he's a firm key player for us these days. Not as good as Florian Wirtz, but Florian Wirtz is the best attacking midfielder in the game, so it's a bit of an unfair comparison. But he is very good as well, as you can see here. Developed very, very nicely on loan at clubs. And here he is back for us, being a very key player. But also the other part that stands out for us in this league is actually the wing-backs. Alphonso Davies with a 7.51 average rating with 13 assists and 7 goals. And Frimpong on the other side got 23 assists and 7 goals for the season as well. So the two wing-backs crossing the balls in the box for Sesko and Omarodian, who had a good season as well. And they're banging the goals in for fun for us. Well, player of the season actually went to Davies, no surprise there. Young player of the season went to Darvic. Signing of the season also went to Davies, had a brilliant season, has to be said. Top goal scorer Sesko with 33 goals, and most assists Jeremy Frimpong with 23 assists, which is again is a new record. Unbelievable for Frimpong, that absolutely unbelievable. Sesko also won the top goal scorer this season as well, so yeah. I have to say, signing Rodrigo was a poor decision by me, but what made up for it was selling Rodrigo and replacing him with Sesko, because that got us back to winning ways in the Premier League title. I firmly believe if I kept Rodrigo, did sign Sesko this season, we would not have won the league title. So I'm very happy with the signing of Sesko, but also equally important is Alphonso Davies. At the start of season 6 here, I haven't made too many signings, but the signings I've made have been very, very important signings, it has to be said. Talking about sales first of all though, Obi Martin has joined Bologna for £12 million. A very highly rated youngster in real life, but not really so good here in this Football Manager, so he's left the club. Also, Junior Krupi, he has gone to Dortmund for £38 million. I signed him at the same time as Darvic. He has very high potential, probably even higher potential than Darvic, but as you saw on Darvic there, he has taken to life in Man United shirt very well. Krupi didn't develop on the same level as Darvic, so I have sold him to Dortmund. He's still a good player, but not good enough for Man United these days. I only signed him for £15.5 million though, so to get £38 million for him, very happy with that. Wish him all the best, but not good enough for us these days, unfortunately. Also, I sold a few youngsters to raise some funds for the players I brought in, such as Tom Thomas. They're all regen players. He's gone to Atletico Madrid for £20 million. Benny Unwin's gone to West Ham for £12 million as well. Harry Green's gone to Everton for £11 million. A couple more players are left for £10 million. And also Mansberg has gone to Brentford for £20 million. Taking a big loss on Mansberg, unfortunately. Signing for £50 million. Again, it's another one that I feel like, did I need to sign Mansberg for such money? Probably not. Probably not. So a little bit of a poor signing again by me, but I brought in a player to replace Mansberg very well, it has to be said. So in terms of signings, I've only signed 2 players, but I spent a combined total of £269 million on these 2 players. And we have a new record signing at a whopping £202 million. I have signed Eduardo Camavinga from Real Madrid. Again, you might be scratching your head a little bit about this. So much money on a player is just absolutely ridiculous. But Camavinga is arguably the best DM on the game. In terms of a Segundo Volante player, I can't find much better than Camavinga, to be honest. He's got absolutely great attributes, especially in the physical department. 17 strength, 19 stamina, great pace, great natural fitness, 18 work rate as well. When I saw that he was interested in joining the club, I just had to go for him. That's why I sold all those young players. None of them really had a very high potential, so to get some money for them, to try and sign Camavinga was a must for me, and I managed to get him in as a new Segundo Volante to replace Kobe Mainoo effectively. Mainoo is still at the club, still a very good player, but Camavinga is a different level player, and hopefully he sends us to even greater things. The other signing I made is another exciting DM / centre-back player, that is Giorgio Scalvini. He joined us from Atlanta for just £67 million. That is because he was transfer listed by request at Atlanta, so I managed to sweep in and sign him. Very happy to sign in Scalvini. He's a very good DM. He's also a very good centre-back as well, so a very versatile player to have in those 2 positions. Can play either one as effectively as good as the other. So again, a very key player to sign. He's a 4.5-star player, as is Camavinga, so very happy to sign these 2. So if we actually look at the starting 11, the assistant's opinion of the starting 11 for this season, the weakest player in the starting 11 is actually Carboni with a 3.5-star rating. That proves how good the players are these days. They're all 4-star players at least, apart from one. And the front three is looking great. Sesko, Wirtz and Carboni. But we've also got Amorim on the bench, along with Darvic as well, who's obviously a great player these days. The wing-backs are the wing-backs are the best wing-backs in the world, in my opinion. Frimpong on the right, Davies on the left. Can't say too much about those two. Also got Livramento and Dorgu still at the club. The DM is looking amazing now with Camavinga and Ugarte. And the centre-backs are great as well. Lukeba, Scalvini, Diamande. We've also got Antonio Silva and Matthijs de Ligt at the club. And also Lenny Yoro as well. He's developed to be quite a good player as well, to be honest. And the goalkeeper position is Diogo Costa. So, to be honest, looking at the team now, I feel like we're very much close to being complete. To be honest, I can't feel like I can strengthen the team much more past this point. So this could be the last season of the club, depending on what happens. Hopefully we defend the league title. Can we do it? Let's find out. Well, again, I made two big signings at the start of the season, but these two definitely paid off again. Camavinga was the signing of the season with a 7.17 average rating. He got 6 goals and 11 assists in 50 games this season. So obviously doesn't stand out as much as some of the other players, the attacking players. But he is playing as a DM. To get such a high rating for a DM is very, very nice. So he has been a key signing for us. Definitely taking us to new levels. Scalvini, though, he was also very good. Featured in 58 games. Did score a goal, got 5 assists. With a 6.95 average rating. Again, that's good for a centre-back. So only 2 signings to talk of, but both of them paid off very nicely indeed. And the great news is we managed to defend our league title for the first time in the rebuild here. Our 3rd league title in 6 seasons, so I'm very happy with that. We won it with 90 points, only 3 points clear of Arsenal and 6 points clear of Man City, so more of a title race this season. But to be honest, the game that won us the league title was this game right here, beating Man City at home 1-0 on the 21st of April. That got us over the line in the end. We did end off the season with 4 clean sheets in a row. Defensively, we're very good again this season, also going forward as well. And as I said, the team is starting to look very complete. Unfortunately, though, in the Champions League, it's looking a little bit like deja vu because we were knocked out in the semi-final again by Real Madrid, which is very disappointing. These are the team that is preventing us winning our 2nd Champions League title. 2 seasons in a row, we lost to Real Madrid in the semi-final. That is why I've decided I'm going to play one more season, maximum one more season, to see if we can win the Champions League again, because Real Madrid have annoyed me, losing to them 2 seasons in a row in the semi-finals. So, yeah, disappointing in that regard, but the good news is he won back-to-back league titles, which is nice to see. We also won the FA Cup this season as well, and the good news is we beat Brighton in the final, 4-0. I say good news we beat Brighton is because they have been a bit of a bogey team for us in the Cups the last few seasons. So to get one over them in the final, I was actually quite nervous. I saw that we were playing Brighton in the final, but thankfully we got over them quite comfortably in the end, 4-0. We also beat Arsenal on the way to lift the FA Cup as well. We also won the Carabao Cup this season as well, beating Liverpool in the final 4-1. Comfortable win there. So we actually end off this season with domestic treble. As I said, on normal circumstances, I would lead the rebuild of this. I feel like the team's been rebuilt now. We want a domestic treble to end the 6th season, but there's one thing just itching at me, and that is the Champions League. We've already won the Champions League, of course, in the rebuild, but can we win the Champions League for the 2nd time in the rebuild to end off the rebuild? That'd be a nice way to finish it off. The Community Shield, we also won that as well, beat Newcastle in the final 2-0. So effectively, we won a domestic quadruple this season. 4 trophies in one season is very nice, but we're just missing that Champions League to put the cherry on top. Well, the player of the season again went to Jeremy Frimpong this time round with a 7.6 average rating. He's been amazing signing Frimpong. I tried to sign him in the 1st season, couldn't get him, but we got him in the 3rd season and never looked back since then. As I said, as a right back, we probably struggle with Frimpong, but as a right wing back, you can't get much better than him. He's amazing going forward, and he gets assists for fun. And Davies on the left-hand side as well is amazing as well. But unfortunately, Davies this season actually broke his ankle twice this season. So Davies nowhere near as effective as last season, but he was out for 8 months in total with a broken ankle. Young player of the season went to Darvic again, another great player, 7.4. He could go down as a signing of the actual rebuild, to be honest, because we only signed Darvic for £4.4 million, which is an absolute steal from Barcelona, and he's developed very nicely at the club. And as I said, he's not quite as good as Florian Wirtz, but no one's as good as Florian Wirtz as a number 10 in this FootballManager, but Darvic is very, very good. Signing of the season went to Camavinga, no surprises there. Top goal scorer this season went to Benjamin Sesko with 45 goals this season. So, as I said, as I elaborate on it, Rodrigo gone, Sesko in. Probably the wisest decision I've made in this rebuild to date. Sesko has made such a difference to the club. It's absolutely ridiculous. Jeremy Frimpong with 21 assists as well, and 11 player of the matches. And he also got the highest average rating of the season as well. Sesko also broke a record, mostly goals for the season for Man United, I believe, with 32 goals. Most goals by a player of the match as well. He's got 5 goals in the match against Brighton, which was nice. And Frimpong got 11 player of the matches, which is another record as well. So that's it. The 6th season has been completed. As I said, I'm going to play one more season maximum. Can we lift the Champions League in the final season for the 2nd time? Well, let's find out. No matter what happens, this is guaranteed to be the final season at the club here. Hopefully win the Champions League, but obviously it's easier said than done. In terms of players to leave us, I've actually sold players worth £201 million in total, so the sales don't stop here and the signings don't stop. Obviously, if you want to stay at the top, you have to keep bringing players in to strengthen the team. Newell's left the club. He's gone to Al Ain on a free transfer. He didn't want to sign a new contract. Only can offer 1-year contracts to players over the age of 32 as well, so he has left the club on a free transfer. Ibanez has also gone to Benfica with 28 million. De Ligt, what a servant he's been for the club. He's been brilliant for me here in this rebuild, but he's left the club now. Gone to Al Ittihad for £24 million. Dorgu as well has gone to Barcelona for £47 million. He was a good signing, but he didn't quite live up to his billing as much as I thought he would. To be honest, he's arguably the highest potential left wing back on the game, but didn't quite max out his potential at the club. And of course, got Alphonso Davies here now, and he's taken away his position. So I sold Dorgu for £47 million. Gallo has gone to PSG for £20 million. He's a young wonderkid I signed. Again, didn't quite live up to his potential. Signed a few youngsters as well. Sold a few youngsters, sorry. I've also sold Norberto Rey and Conan. Norberto Rey has gone to Leipzig with £40 million. Conan to Tottenham for £24 million. In normal circumstances, I wouldn't sell these two players because Rey's got very high potential as a striker, but he's not quite as good as Sesko and Amarodian. Not going to use him here in the final season, so I decided to cash in on him and try and sign some better players. And in terms of the players I've signed, I've actually raided Chelsea this season because Chelsea didn't manage to qualify for the Champions League. They're unhappy players. Caicedo, a player I was looking at for a long time. I signed him for £74 million. Couldn't get him for any sort of money like this in the last couple of seasons, but I managed to get him this season for relatively cheap money, and he definitely strengthens the DM department as well. So very happy with the signing of Caicedo. As a Segundo Volante on support, you don't get much better than Caicedo, to be honest. 18 tackling, 16 work rate, 16 passing, 16 positioning, and 16 stamina. So very good signing, Caicedo. I've also signed Wesley Fofana. I was trying to see if I could find a centre-back who are actually better than our centre-backs. We've actually got like 5 or 6 class centre-backs, not really a world-class one. So I thought, you know what, can I sign a world-class centre-back? And I did. I signed Wesley Fofana for £72 million, again from Chelsea. Is he world-class in real life? No, he's always injured, but in this FM, he is world-class and he's absolutely amazing. And I've signed him for £72 million. 18 positioning, 17 marking, great pace, great physically overall. He's just a great player to sign, and to be honest, even though we've got such good centre-backs at the club, I feel like we've upgraded this position even more. He's a 4.5-star player, and I've signed 2 amazing players from Chelsea for a combined total of £146 million. I've also signed Aaron Ramsdale. Main reason why I signed Ramsdale is, well, first of all, we need a new backup goalkeeper, and also he's homegrown in England, of course. So I signed him for Southampton for £17.5 million. And I've also signed another amazing left wing back in Destiny Udogie from Tottenham for £83 million as well. He's another amazing wing back. Physically, he's absolutely outstanding, as you can see there. That's his main strong point for us. So now we've got Davies and Udogie at the club as 2 left wing backs, which is quite crazy to say. I felt like it was paramount to bring in a new left wing back because Davies broke his ankle twice last season. He's now 29, going on 30. Dorgu, not quite good enough for me. So although we've got 2 world-class left wing backs, probably even the 2 top left wing backs on the game, to be honest. Definitely in the top 5, both of them too. So yeah, Udogie and Davies is an interesting dynamic there. But as I said, with Davies' recent injury problems, I felt like it's a necessity. And Udogie's here at the club as well to strengthen that position even more. And last, and definitely not least, is Sergio Codamoni, who I signed from Dortmund for £64 million. He's a new attacking midfielder to bring into the club. I wanted to sign a better attacking midfielder than this. I actually wanted to sign Xavi Simons from PSG, but he chose to join Real Madrid over me, which is a little bit disappointing. So I had to sign one in the end because I was lacking in that department. And Cardamone, he has joined the club. He's only 21 years of age. Another German attacking midfielder, Wirtz, Darvic and Cardamone, 3 German attacking midfielders who do very well for us. He's a backup player, not great physically. As I said, I wanted to sign better than Cardamone, but I didn't have the funds in the end. As I said, this is the last season, whatever happens, and to be honest, I don't feel I can do much better with the team now because the team is just looking absolutely ridiculous. Looking at the starting 11 here hasn't changed much. Obviously, Fofana comes in. Omarodian's apparently a best striker at the team now over Sesko. That just proves how good both these two players are. But the main thing that makes the team so good now is the actual squad depth of the club. We actually look at the bench of the team. We've got Diamande, Sesko, Antonio Silva, Caicedo, Darvic, Udogie, and Mainu all on the bench in terms of the starting team here. So yeah, the actual squad in total, we've got amazing players in all parts of the pitch now. Arguably, we could be the best team in the world, but the one team that's in our way at the moment are Real Madrid. It's a battle between us and Real Madrid to be the biggest club in the world. Can we take over Real Madrid in the final season here? Can we lift the Champions League for the second time and go out on a real high? Well, this is the final season, as I said, no matter what happens. And in terms of the new arrivals, Destiny Udogie was a very good player. To be honest, his average rating is absolutely outstanding. When you take into consideration he only started 18 games in the season, he's not too happy about that, which is understandable. He did feature 50 times in total though. We got 5 goals and 14 assists with a 7.39 average rating. So when he did start, he was absolutely unbelievable. Problem is, of course, we had Alphonso Davies in the team as well. And this season, thankfully, he stayed injury-free. So Udogie is not too happy with his game time. But I don't really care, to be honest. It's the final season, so not really my problem anymore. Ramsdale as well, only backup goalkeeper, only started 4 games. Fofana was a great signing. 6.9 on average rating for a centre-back is very good. 47 games played in total. Caicedo, similar to Udogie, not too happy with his game time. Only started 13 games, but again, the DMs we've got at the club now are unbelievable. We've got Caicedo, we've got Camavinga, we've got Ugarte, we've got Kobe Mainu. We've also got Danny Davies, who's a regen, who come through the club's academy, who's very good as well. So, didn't get the game time he'd like Caicedo, but again, when he came in, he was very good. Cardamone as well, didn't feature on too many occasions, but Udogie, as a squad player, don't get much better than Udogie, to be honest. And Fofana definitely strengthened the defence department. A world-class centre-back at the club, and he did very well as well. Well, the good news is we won the league title for the 3rd time in a row, the 4th time in 7 seasons as well. So that is a great way to end things off. In the league campaign at least, we actually, well, you look at the goal difference this season, plus 81 goal difference, only 2 defeats as well, 9 points clear of Man City. It was an amazing season. It started off very well, to be honest. In the first 3 games, we beat Tottenham away 6-0, and we also beat Liverpool at home 4-0. So yeah, I knew we was onto something special this season when I saw those 2 results. We had a little bit of an iffy end to the season, has to be said. We lost at home to Arsenal 2-1. We also drew 3 games in a row, but we managed to pick it up towards the end. Beating Man City at home 2-1 was a crucial win, and we went unbeaten towards the end of the season as well to actually win our 3rd league title in a row. Moment of truth though, did we win the Champions League? Of course we won the Champions League. Of course we won the Champions League. Thankfully, one of the main reasons why we won the Champions League is we actually managed to avoid Real Madrid in the knockout phases. They were actually the team we faced in the first game in the league phase this season, and they beat us 4-1. They also beat us in the Club World Championship final as well, Real Madrid, so I absolutely hate them. They knock us out in every competition we play against them, but thankfully for us, with a bit of luck, we didn't have to face them in the Champions League this season after the knockout phase, and we played PSG in the final. It was a very convincing win. We beat them 3-0 in the final. And we also beat AC Milan in the semi-final and Man City in the quarter-final. So we won the Champions League for the 2nd time of the rebuild, and we end off the rebuild winning the Champions League. Unfortunately, the FA Cup was disappointing though. Got knocked out to Everton in the 5th round. The Carabao Cup as well, got knocked out to Man City in the semi-final. And we also lost the Community Shield to Arsenal 1-0. So we didn't do too well in other competitions. We lost the Club World Championship final to start the season. We also lost the Community Shield final to start the domestic season as well. Didn't do well in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. But the main thing is we won the league title for the 3rd time in a row. And we also won the Champions League for the 2nd time of the rebuild. Well, player of the season again. Are we surprised? Jeremy Frimpong again. What a signing he's been. 7.5 average rating again. Unbelievable player. Really was a great signing for me, that. Young player of the season was Noah Darvic. Again, he's been brilliant. Really brilliant. Destiny Udogie signing on the season with 7.4 average rating. This time round, though Sesko has been unbelievable the last 2 seasons, the assistant manager decided that Omarodian is our go-to man this season. To be honest, I just listened to him. He's making good decisions in the last few seasons, and Omarodian played more games than Sesko, and he got 38 goals this season. Florian Wirtz as well, got 20 assists this season as well. It was actually a great way to end off the rebuild, to be honest, because look at the league campaign here. We actually ended off the season with 100 goals and only 19 goals conceded in the season, so that's a great record, that. Plus 81 goal difference. And we actually look at the stats here. We scored the most goals in the season. We had the fewest shots against, over 100 more shots less against us than the next best team, which is a crazy record. Tactically, we were very good as soon as we got the right players to fit the system. We also had the most dribbles made as well, fewest conceded, most clean sheets. We had the joint best pass completion ratio, and we had the most shots for as well. Again, the most shots for here, 697 shots for us, over 160 more shots than Man City in second place there. So it was a dominant campaign for us in the league, but also the Champions League as well. It was a great way to end off the rebuild. So of course, over 7 seasons here, the first season went quite good. Won the Carabao Cup in the first season, of course. That was quite impressive, finishing third in the league as well. The second season was absolutely outstanding, winning a treble. The Champions League, the league, and the FA Cup. Also came very close to winning the quadruple as well. The third and fourth season, well, the less we say about that, the better. I feel like I made the wrong decisions, especially signing Rodrigo for such big money. Who, to be honest, I feel like it's been proven that Rodrigo was a massive mistake by me, because as soon as we signed Sesko, the goals were flying in from all directions again, with 2 big strikers up front. 2 overall great strikers, not just big strikers, of course, they're great overall as well, but that added height advantage from set pieces and open play made a massive difference to us. So yeah, the third and fourth season didn't go good, but the fifth season won the league title again, the sixth season again won the league title, won actually domestic quadruple, and the final season won the league title for the 3rd time in a row, and the Champions League for the 2nd time. So in total, we actually won the Champions League twice, of course. We won the league title 4 times. We also won the FA Cup 3 times as well. We won the Carabao Cup twice, I believe. Yeah, we won the Carabao Cup twice. And we also won the Community Shield twice as well. So 13 trophies in 7 seasons, almost 2 trophies a season. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. I'm pretty sure that Man United have been rebuilt at this point now. Of course, as I said, it would be nicer to make the better decisions in the third and fourth season. But all in all, it worked out very well in the end. 4 league titles won in total, and also 2 Champions Leagues as well. So that's the end of this video, guys. Do let me know down in the comment section below, though, which team you think I should rebuild next. I have got another rebuild coming up soon in the next couple of weeks, and it's a very obvious team from the Premier League as well. That is, of course, Tottenham Hotspur. I'm looking forward to starting that one, so that'll be my next rebuild. But do let me know down below the recommendations you have for another team that needs to be rebuilt, either in England or any other foreign country. I'm down for anything, basically, so do let me know down in the comment section below. And also, please remember to hit that like button for me. And if you're new around here, you want to see more rebuild videos, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out, and much appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.